welcome back to Tea and a Butty podcast. I'm Erica.
And I'm Dominic.
And today... I don't know, you always crack me up when you do
When I say Dominic.
When we do the intro.
Dominic, when I say my name, it cracks you up. I don't know why.
Anyway, today we are going to be talking about taking a day trip to Paris from London.
Yay!
Yeah, we were recently at a family get-together. I say recently, I think it was like New Year's Day, so it was a while ago.
It was like about a month ago.
A month ago or so.
Oh, a couple of months ago.
Well, a couple of months?
A month and a half, whatever. What day is it? It's the 10th of February.
And we were talking to one of my mom's cousins, and she and her husband had recently gone to Paris, and so we were just talking about that, yeah. and we were talking about that we had taken a day trip to Paris from London, and they were like, oh...
Because they said to us, they mentioned, we were going to try and get to London.
To go to London, yeah, they wanted to do...
But we didn't have the time for it.
Well, no, they said they didn't even think about it while they were there, that they could do that. And we were like, yeah, just,
hop on a train.
Eurostar. Okay, I don't know how we should structure this. Maybe we should just talk about how we actually did it, because this was...
How did we do it?
This was a few years ago now.
A long time ago. It was pre-iPhone. It was pre-smartphone.
Oh my god, let's don't
It was.
That. Anyway.
Pre-smartphone kids.
So
some of you weren't even born.
So it's going to be similar nowadays, but nowadays they also have apps and things, and we'll get into that. We'll get into why you might want certain apps as we talk about our day.
There's an app for that.
And of course, everything that every individual person or a couple or a group wants to do may differ from what we did, but...
Yeah, if you're in a group, someone might want to stay in Paris, or so if you're in a group,
I mean, they just may want to go to a different museum, or go shopping, or whatever. We're just going to talk about what we were able to do in the... I don't know even how long we were there. 8
About
hours,
8 hours,
maybe?
yeah. We budgeted. We allowed, allotted our time for maybe we'll come back at
I think we took the earliest train. We think we took the latest train back, so that way we could have as much time as possible. So we were there 8 or 9 hours. I don't know. Okay, so taking the train from London to Paris is probably the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
Although you may be able to get a cheaper flight, like on Ryanair or something like that, possibly.
Yeah, possibly. You could probably get it for $20.
Maybe.
£20, which is about $15, whatever the exchange rate is now.
But then you've got to get yourself to the airport.
You've got to get yourself to the airport. It's got to be an airport that will fly to Paris too. I mean, I think Gatwick might do it.
It's probably going to be more like Stansted or
London City or Luton.
London City.
Shout out to the people in Luton who's listening to this.
London City maybe. You have to get yourself to the airport. So if that's not an issue, then you might look into that. I don't even think we thought about it because...
Well, no, I think you wanted to go on the train anyway, didn't you?
Well, not particularly.
Eurostar.
Not necessarily, but... When I was looking into all of this, I did not realize at the time that flying in Europe was so cheap.
Well, hopefully it'll stay this cheap now that we've Brexited.
I'm assuming that it was even at the time that we took our trip, but I just didn't realize it. So I didn't even look at that because flying around America is not cheap.
No, it's not. It's I think the minimum is $300, isn't
something, yeah. Well, I mean, Southwest has
and that's just from Austin to maybe Louisiana or something.
Southwest has one-way flights from $99.
Oh, okay.
That's one way though, so that's going to be $200.
Yeah, but is that pre-taxes, fees, and whatever? Is that the base price?
I don't know. It's been a long time since I flew Southwest. So, I mean,
So we haven't looked into any of that.
$200, though, is probably about the cheapest you're going to fly round trip in America. Whereas, I think we've mentioned in the podcast before, I'm not sure, Dominic and I were able to fly from Spain to Rome a few years ago for £40.
40
€40.
And that was
round trip for both of us.
Yeah.
So that was total. That was not each.
It was £20 each, which is about, I don't know what the exchange rate is again. I mean, I think it's a little bit less. Maybe, so maybe it's about $30. We got to fly from Malaga to Rome. It's not that much of a flight. It's about 2 hours.
$30 per person. It was about $60 US.
$60 maybe, yeah.
Which is, I mean, But anyway, okay, back to Paris.
Back to the Paris.
So what we did was we took the Eurostar.
Yeah, we took the Eurostar from King's Cross. So St Pancras.
And the Eurostar
is the channel rail. It's a train that runs from London to Paris, and it's also opening up to Amsterdam now. You can also get a train to Amsterdam from London now too. And I think it goes all the way to Brussels.
I think it'll take you through Europe.
It'll take you in, yeah, kind of like...
I think you can get a Eurostar.
All the way to, like, I don't know where, maybe Austria. I'm not sure where the line ends for Eurostar. But people use it to get shuttle back and forth between Paris. I think they're every, like, half an hour or whatever they are,
I can't remember.
I don't know how many trains there are, but, there's quite a lot of them,
Mm-hmm. I can't remember.
It's expensive now, too.
It's expensive to travel Eurostar. That's what I was just going to say.
Price keeps climbing.
I can't remember how much it cost for both of us to go from London to...
It wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad. I want to say like
But you got to remember this is pre-smartphone days,
I want to say like $99 or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look it up. Eurostar has a website, so look it up if you're interested in checking that out. The travel time is only like 2 hours.
I think they've shaved it down to like an hour and a half now.
Yeah.
Because it's quite fast.
So explain really quick what the channel even is, just in case anybody doesn't know when you said channel.
I think it was since Britain entered the EU in 1973, plans were made to like dig a tunnel from the English coast from somewhere just outside Dover. Or somewhere near Dover or Folkestone or somewhere on the Kent coast anyway, to the French coast, like Calais or wherever it comes out, under the English Channel, which is a body of water that separates the British Isles from mainland Europe. Yeah, and they were like, oh, we're just gonna dig one massive tunnel under there, and people can go under the tunnel in a train. You can only go under the tunnel in a train, though. You can't drive it. Right. You can drive, and you can drive onto a train, and the train takes you. Yeah. And then you drive off the train. So basically, sort of like a ferry. It's basically like that, yeah. Because I have a feeling.
I thought you could drive through it. I thought it was open to drive through. But I can understand why they wouldn't want that.
Well, no, because just in case it one day it just cracks.
Well, car crashes,
crashes and everything. Yeah, that's true. But also like a build up, there's a traffic jam or whatever, like there's a car crash and, maybe something catastrophic happens, the tunnel cracks and the whole freaking sea comes in on them. What a disaster movie that would be. Someone needs to write that.
The day after tomorrow.
The day after tomorrow.
The day after the day after tomorrow.
And we need the Avengers to come help everyone, Get Iron Man in there. He'll do it.
But if you are if you're renting a car, then that's an option, I guess. I don't have any idea how long that takes, though. Yeah, I mean, 2 hours. I don't know, because you've got to load everybody's cars on it. I think you sit in your car. I don't know if you get off and go to a...
I think you can get out in the little cab and just walk to, like a little area there. You can just walk about, but yeah, people usually just sit in their car. Yeah. And it's just like you'd rather sit on the train,
The Eurostar is a very nice train.
It's a very lovely train.
It leaves from, I want to say, King's Cross?
St Pancras. Yeah. King's Cross and Pancras, just 2 stations merged. Yeah. Everybody will know King's Cross because...
Platform 9 3/4.
Yes, it leaves from platform 9 3/4.
Yeah, so... so you can go get your Harry Potter gear while you're there. Well, they have a little shop and... actually, they have a little photo op where you can run through. Yeah.
It's not actually on the main concourse, obviously, because that would be absolutely horrendous, and safety hazards and everything like that. But, you know, it's just off and, you know, there's a wall there and everything. And it's cute.
Yeah. So we got up the morning we were going to do it. And keep in mind, we are saying day trip. That means literally we're not spending the night in Paris. We're getting up in the morning. We're going to Paris for the day and we're going to come back.
I'll tell them about you getting up in the morning.
Well, I was going to say, so it
was like 5 o'clock in the morning.
It was like, it was like
before.
Yeah, I think it was.
Because we had to get there.
Yeah, it was like 4 or 4:30. We wanted to get up and get ready, obviously. I think we had to be there at 6.
6, yeah. I think it left at 6:15, as I remember.
Something like that, yeah. Because we wanted to get there as early as possible.
Train leave? What time does the train leave? And I was like, 6:15. 6:15.
Yeah, so then it takes
okay,
2.5 hours. I can't remember how long exactly, but it was somewhere around there. Yeah, so you have to get up and get ready. I mean, unless you're going to go to Paris in your pajamas, you know. I mean,
you almost did.
We didn't really, take any bags with us or anything because you don't have to keep up with stuff. I always, when I'm traveling, have, not just a purse, but a...
Passports, obviously. But,
sort of like a shopping type bag in case I want to buy anything while I'm out. You know, it's be big enough to hold an umbrella. Just whatever you might need, just like a day bag.
A day bag, yeah.
So that's all we brought with us. I think it was very cold because it was in November. I think end of November, early December. Yeah. So we got up. It was obviously pitch black outside, and I think we took a
I had to wake you up at 4 o'clock. You were like 5 more minutes, and I was like, "No, we can't do this. We can't do this 5 more minutes."
5 more minutes.
I was like, "You've got to get up now," and you were like, and then you got up, and you were like, "What time does the train leave? Oh no, do I have time to get ready? Oh no, I've got to look great for going into Paris. Oh no."
Yes.
So we got down to King's Cross.
Yeah. Yeah. So you just get on the train and. You know, just like you're going anywhere. We were really excited, both of us, for traveling through the tunnel because we were just like, oh, what's that going to be like? You know, most of the trip is
through the tunnel.
Yes, it's going to be pitch black, or is it, we going to
see things?
Yeah, we were just we didn't know.
I figured I was just going to be traveling on the tube, you know, in London, you know, it's just going to be pitch black and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both slept. We slept the whole way.
Well, I slept.
I think I fell asleep before the train even left the station.
We were because I remember we were sitting there and I was looking around and, you know, wasn't too many people on the train.
Yeah.
And then I turned back and you were outers. You were completely outers. And I was like, oh, okay, that's going to be I may as well just sit here. And I was like, I can't remember what I was doing, reading the paper or something, you know, because this was pre-smartphone, remember? You couldn't get on your phone then and do all the apps and play games or whatever, you know. So I think I may have texted my dad, said we're going to Paris and, you know, see you later. But yeah, you were out as the train started moving and, you know, it was like we were going through, and I think I remember us entering the tunnel, and as soon as we entered the tunnel, I was gone. I was asleep.
I do know we woke up when we got to Calais.
I was like, oh, we were in Calais. Because I think the train stopped, it jolted us awake. And
yeah, we were like,
okay.
oh, are we there? Oh no, we're in Calais. Okay, good night. We went back to sleep. So it does stop in Calais. I'm not sure why.
I guess
do some people just get off in Calais? I don't know.
I'm not sure, maybe.
I don't know, but it stopped in Calais, which is just on the border of France, just coming off the water, basically.
It's the port town in France. Yeah, it's where everybody remembers. You know, you go from Dover to Calais on the ferry.
Probably
and people go there for duty free. You know,
probably it's a security type checkpoint or something like that because we're entering another country. You know, because we're entering Europe. Probably they just have to stop. Everything's okay.
But no one comes on the train.
No,
though. You do that when you get to Gare du Nord, which is the station. In Paris.
So then we went ahead to Paris. We arrived in Paris, and that's it. We got out at the train. I think we had to go through, give them our passports.
Yeah, no, you have to go through passport control, and you know Britain was part of the EU back then, so it was just like a bleep, And I think you asked them, didn't you? Oh,
could I have a stamp? And they were like, no, we don't do that.
Don't do that. No.
I was like, oh, can I get a stamp? And they were just like, nah.
Pardonnez, monsieur.
And so then we were in Paris, and we were in the train station. And all the signs were in French. Imagine that.
Unbelievable. I mean, we're coming from England now, and these people have the audacity to put their signs in French where we can't understand them. What's all that about?
No,
That's why we Brexited, innit?
Arrogantly, I imagined that there were going to be signs in French, obviously, but that they would also have some English on them. But no.
No bilingual.
No.
No.
Not even.
Pardonnez, monsieur.
Not even one. I can't remember seeing one.
No anglais.
Yeah. So, that was annoying because I don't speak French and neither does Dominic.
I took French in school. I knew, bonjour, je m'appelle Dominique.
Yeah, none of which helped us.
Because, for the amount of people were just looking at a stranger every time I said that to them.
So they had a map in the train station.
And
we just walked up and we're looking at it.
We can't figure out our way out of this train station.
That was the problem. We could not get out of the train station. It's so embarrassing.
We were young. It was pre-smartphone.
I was getting so pissed off too because every minute that ticked away, I was like, we are literally only here for the day and we cannot get out of this train station. I was pissed. I was like, no.
So we resumed. We went and went around the walls, didn't we? Just until we came to a door. But
no, I was like, I'm going to go ask someone because this is ridiculous.
That was terrible.
So we just went up to a ticket booth, and I asked the girl if she spoke English, and she was like, oh, a little, and I was just like,
Lidl.
Subway, train, underground, and she was just like, oh yeah, and she was able to tell us where to go, and it was so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing, you guys. Okay, so remember how I said...
So embarrassing.
How I said now smartphones and apps and stuff like that will help you on your day trip to Paris?
Yeah, they will. They'll translate. How do I get out of Gare du Nord station?
Yes.
And I'll just go, here's a map of Gare du Nord station.
Or they have those apps that you can point at things and they'll translate what it's reading.
Those are really cool.
Or you could type in whatever your signs you're reading, and smartphones, wave of the future.
The way of the future. The way of the future.
But so definitely I would say save some maps on your phone, or
save the maps.
Be sure you have Google or whatever, because unless you know French, it can be difficult to leave the train station. And I'm humiliated saying that right now. But so once we got out of the train station and we went down to the they call it the metro.
The metro
in Paris, which is the subway. Then we got on the subway and we just rode it into central Paris. Because I think the first stop that we wanted to make was Notre Dame.
Oh, Notre Dame.
Oh, did we go to Notre Dame first? It might have been.
I don't know.
It might have been the Louvre first, but so you come up out of the metro in Paris, and again, all the signs are in French. All the street signs are in French.
What?
It's like you're in another country or something.
Unbelievable. Where they don't speak English at all? What's going on here?
So what we did, our main 3 points that we wanted to hit on our day in Paris were Notre Dame, the Louvre, which I know I can hear you going, the Louvre? How are you going to do the Louvre in a day trip? But I had to go to the Louvre. I had to see the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
So, and for me, it was worth paying the entrance fee into the Louvre just to see the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, the Louvre was great, yeah. The Louvre, baby.
But so first we went to Notre Dame. I think we had already mapped it out a little bit, let's go here first and then the Louvre, and then maybe we based it on opening times. I don't remember, but on the way walking, because we just kind of also just walked around a bit and we're taking pictures and just taking in. I
remember. We went to Notre Dame and we went to Notre Dame. We went to Notre Dame. Notre Dame is what they call that.
Notre
school.
Dame. Yeah. We have a
high school football.
We have a college in America, and we do call it Notre Dame. Yeah.
Yeah. So Notre Dame. Is how it's said in Paris. But yeah, we went to see that first.
Yeah.
And this was pre-smartphone, as you say. You know, we just took photos and
it was late in the morning. We decided, we need something to eat.
So we found this little cafe on the Seine.
Mm-hmm.
Seine.
Yeah, and I seem to think it was something like the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh,
Notre Dame. Yeah, I think it was. So we went in. We just had like a little sandwich or something and some water and
there's like a yeah.
In Europe, I don't know if we've ever talked about this either, but just for Americans listening, in Europe and I'm including Britain in that, if you ask for water in a restaurant, they will not bring you tap water.
They'll just bring you bottled water.
They'll bring you bottled water. You have to specify that you want tap water. So keeping that in mind, we went into Paris. I don't know if we'd gone out to eat where I'd asked like in a restaurant to.
Maybe not. No, I don't.
Maybe
think
not.
So. I think,
or maybe we had. I don't remember. But anyway, and you know, he said, "Oh, what do you want to drink?" And he was, I think, speaking to us in.
He was speaking to us English, but he had a very thick French accent.
Yeah, and he didn't know all the English words, which I didn't expect him to. We're in his country.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, and I ordered water, and he said,
gas or no gas?
Gas, but it was like very thick.
No ga.
Yeah, ga or no ga.
Ga or no ga.
Ga or no ga. Like
ga
that.
or no ga.
And Dominic and I were just looking at each other.
And because he said it to you, and then I was just like, ga or no ga. He went like, and I was just looking at him like, what? What? Is it a brand?
And I was just like, sorry. And I was like, sorry.
And then you looked at me, sorry, and he was like, gas or no gas? And I was just like, yeah, I'm not getting this either. Because, I was like, is it a brand? I think I even said that to him, is it a brand? And he was like, no, ga or no ga.
No, you didn't say anything. You were just looking at me, and I was like, I don't speak French any more than you do. But I didn't even know that
I seem to remember saying, is it a brand or something? Because I was just like, I'm not getting this at all.
I couldn't even understand that he was speaking English because the accent was so thick. So I was just like, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're saying. And I was like, how do I get over this? And he totally got it. He was very nice.
Very patient because it was just like, he
was very nice. He was
nice, yeah.
He wasn't like, you idiots or anything.
Oh, you idiot! God,
no.
Oh God!
Like the way that they make it seem. They portray French people. No, he was very he was just like, kind of laughing, and he was just like, he was trying to think of another way to put it to me because he could tell, this was not, I was not going to figure it out. And so he goes, psh, or no, psh. And I said, and suddenly, gas or no gas.
And you were like, and you went, no, psh, like that. By this point in the conversation, I was just like, okay. Like, you were talking about the hog leg, with and you didn't understand that. I was like, at this point in the conversation, I was like, what? Psh, or no, psh, what? I was like,
I totally got it.
How did that become better? How did that become a thing? Like, psh, oh, no, psh. And he was like, no, psh.
Why did that suddenly make sense?
Like, that suddenly makes sense. And then he walked off. I was like, what do you mean, no, psh? What's psh? And he was like, fizzy. You were like, oh, no. I was like,
carbonated or non-carbonated.
Carbonation or something you said. I was like, gas on gas.
Yeah, because we could not understand the word gas with the way he was pronouncing it. Yeah. So he was like, ga noga, like that. And we were just like...
Yeah, and it was the same in Spain. They were speaking English. They kind of like speak it in there, very fast like they do Spanish. Mm-hmm. And it was just kind of like,
so once he said psh or no psh, then I was like, you're saying gas or no gas, but you were still like, gas, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I was a little bit like, gas, what are you talking about? And then I was like, gas is in because the gas
carbonation.
Gassy.
Yeah.
Yes, I was just like, it's just totally not a word we'd use for it. It's like fizzy water or still. Fizzy or still, he was saying in effect, and over here it's like carbonated or.
Yeah.
But as again, you don't get that. Yeah. If you ask for water, they don't go fizzy.
They immediately bring you tap water.
Because if I said fizzy water, they'd probably look at me like, what?
Yeah.
Over here, they'd be like,
fizzy.
why would you want fizzy water?
Yeah.
Like carbonated water? No. You want some of the good stuff. You want something from the tap that we can refill. Yes, but anyway, after that debacle...
Yeah, so that was a really long story, but, so anyway, then we went to, Notre Dame, and we did not go in, because, I think there were, I don't know if we had been looking at a tour, or maybe just the cost of going in, and we were just like, oh, we don't really have time, we'll just enjoy it from the outside, which is what we did. We got to hear the church bells ring, there was a Christmas tree out front because of the time of year that we were there, and it was lovely.
It was very lovely.
I was happy not going in. I mean, I would like to go in at some point, but I was fine for a day trip, just enjoying it from the outside.
Yeah.
I wanted to spend my money on going into the Louvre, even though, some people might say, oh, well, you're wasting money going in, you're only going to enjoy, like, 1/100th of the place.
1% of the place,
But that was fine for me, because I'm a huge Leonardo da Vinci person, and I wanted to see the Mona Lisa, so...
You got told off in the Louvre, too.
I did. So we went...
Got told off, everybody.
What was interesting about the Louvre, though, is after Notre Dame, we got back onto the metro, and we rode the metro to the Louvre, and they have an underground entrance to the Louvre. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they have their own station, yeah.
Yeah, it's an underground entrance. Like, you get off the train, and it feels like you're still in the subway.
But you're actually in the Louvre.
Yeah, there's like a ticket booth there. We had already bought the tickets online, I think, so we just like retrieved them out of the machine. And then, then we just went into the Louvre, like right underground, and you went in, and there were like little shops and stuff down there.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember. I was like, what's going on? Because, this is different to the London Underground. It's like there's no, like, shops or boutiques and all this kind of stuff down there.
It was like we were in the museum, only it was in, like, the gifty kind of area, and then we went up, and that was where the exhibits and everything were. We went into one hall where there was a bunch of statues. Going to what Dominic said about me being told off. And I don't know, I think I was just exhausted. I know museum etiquette. It's like, you don't touch this stuff. I was having Dominic take a picture, and we were in this hall of all these statues. And for some reason, like, I would just reach a hand up, like, I'm posing with the statue.
The statue had its hand out, or it was coming down like that, its hand was down. And you just reached your hand up to, like, do a cool photo. Like one of those obnoxious tourists.
Yes. And just to touch it, I don't know what I was thinking. And this guy screams at me from across this huge... And the hall was huge. It was not like
reverberated.
A small... Yes. Don't touch! How did you know to say it in English? No, he was like,
don't touch.
Don't touch.
Because he figured you were... You've got to be English speaking. No self-respecting Frenchman would ever touch one of these statues.
Or anyone from Europe.
From Europe, it's got to be either British or you're American. So don't touch.
Yeah, and he didn't say it in any other language. Like, he just said it in English. And I was like, oops. And I immediately was, like, shrunk down into myself because I know better.
Yeah, because
I know better.
I got the photo of your reaction at the split second because you're just like... Your face
because I was just thinking, why did I just touch that? That was so stupid of me. I have no idea what I'm doing, but... Yeah, so anyway, we got to see the Mona Lisa. There were a billion people in there. You cannot get close to the Mona Lisa.
No, we didn't get really good photos of it either.
No, again, it was before good cameras. We still don't have a good camera, though, you guys.
Before good cameras, there were good cameras around, but it just wasn't that great.
Before good digital cameras.
Before good digital smartphone cameras that you can carry around in your pocket and stuff,
Surprisingly, you're allowed to take photos of the Mona Lisa. Like, I thought I was going to have to sneak them, which I was absolutely willing to do. It's in a perspex box,
and there's like a semicircle rail around it, so it, like,
you can't get anywhere close to it.
It's like 5 feet, away from it. Yeah, you cannot touch.
Yeah. Then we decided, okay, let's go to the Eiffel Tower because we want to go up in the Eiffel Tower and see the city. So, the whole time, because Dominic had a little bit of French at school, I was just like, okay, you're gonna get us around, but I was not confident in him getting us around at all.
Still not confident in getting us around anywhere, and I got us around places. I got her places.
After what happened in the train station, I was so pissed off. I was like, okay, I have lost all confidence in you getting me around France, but he did.
I just couldn't find a way out of the station. It was a minor detail. I couldn't find the door, okay?
I was just like, we couldn't.
There was no door. It was a secret door.
I was like, we could not even get out of the train station. Like, I'm trusting you to get me to the Eiffel Tower. Urgh.
Yes, I remember. You were like, are we there? Is this the right place? Do you?
Are you sure? Are you sure?
No, you took the map from me and said, I don't think this is where it is. Why is the Eiffel Tower there and the train station's there? Like,
because you were very just like, oh, it's here, so we just need to go that way. Like, just pointing in the general direction.
Yes, we need to go that way. And we did.
So we came up out of the metro station and like just rounded a corner, and I'm just all kind of grumbling like, oh, I don't think you got us to the right place. We're not in the right place.
We're not in the right place.
Oh God.
I was like, there it is.
And we turned the corner
there.
And he's like, oh look, there it is. And it was this magnificent view of the Eiffel Tower. We were still like a ways away from it, but it was a viewing point. I didn't even know what you were.
Yeah, because it's like the viewing point where you can get to like. Yeah, it's like where you can just view it.
Yeah.
And take a good photo on the plinth and everything, you know? Because
I think around the other side of the Eiffel Tower is where you see more pictures. It has the big lawn and everything.
Yeah.
Out front, you know, and it's basically the same distance, but instead of like...
It's at the other side.
Concrete where we went. It was on the other side, yeah. So I didn't know about this side. And so when we were coming around, it was just like, oh, wow, there it is.
There it is.
And,
you got me there. Huh.
Yeah. And it just kept getting more gray, more windy. But we went up.
More rainy.
We decided not to go to the very top. I think they have like 3 different layers you can stop at. I think one of them has a restaurant.
One of them has a restaurant, but I'm not sure where it is. I don't know if it's in the top of the Eiffel Tower or if it's
I'm not sure either.
I think it's actually in the middle section, you know, like there's like the little bottom section, then there's the middle section, and then there's like the very top, you know.
So we didn't go to the very top because it was super windy. And we just went to the next highest level, I think, but the top was quite a ways up still. And where we went, it was super windy, so we were just like, yeah, we're happy with this level. I think the highest level was even more expensive or something too.
It was very windy, and you know, you were like getting blown about a bit.
Yeah.
So.
I definitely recommend if you go to Paris to go up into the Eiffel Tower because it's some beautiful views up there.
Wonderful
I
views.
do know that a lot of people that go to Paris go to Montmartre and go up to go up to the church, or I don't know if they call it a cathedral, that big white church that's there, and you can have a great view of the city from up there too. So and that doesn't cost
it's the classic like city, you know, the classic view of the city that everyone uses, you know, the Eiffel Tower and everything.
But we wanted to do like the main hot spots, you know, we were just there for the day, so that's what we chose to do. We then went back, like we wanted to make our way back. We wanted to have a meal in like a little French kind of bistro type place. So we kind of headed back toward the subway stop that we originally came up out of once we had come into town from the train station, and ate at a little bistro there. I can't remember what the name of it was.
Chez Clement.
There was like a place right next to it though, guys, that was like Tex-Mex. It was called Tex-Mex Restaurant.
Tex-Mex Restaurant, yeah.
It was just like Tex-Mex Restaurant. We were like, oh, should we go there maybe? The answer was
Tex-Mex.
No. Oh yeah, we walked along the same. We're just looking at pictures so that we can
jog our memories.
Our memories. Yeah, we walked
along. A long time ago.
We walked along the same.
There's the Tex-Mex.
Yeah. Yeah, so we didn't eat at the Tex-Mex restaurant. We went to just some random bistro. Again, I'm so like envious of people who travel around nowadays because they have, you know, you have Yelp and everything right there on your phone. You can like, you know, because we had no idea whether this place was going to be any good or not.
Got a good data plan. You can look stuff up.
It turned out, or if you just hop on somebody's free Wi-Fi. But it turned out really good. Yeah, we ate there. I think we stopped in a little, like, tourist shop that was right there, too, before we went down, and then we had to get back to the train station to catch our train.
Oh, that was another thing, because I got us on a train that wasn't, like, a subway train, and I remember you were freaking out about that. You were like, is this going the right way? And I was like, yeah, this is going to get us back into, like, the...
Oh, I don't remember.
This is going to get us to Gare du Nord. And you were like, are you sure?
Again, see, I was
because it was like a crazy train, you know, it looked like a crazy train. It's like that, because, you know, you said those words, this looks like a crazy train. And I was like, it's just a train. It's just like one carriage train. It's like, where's it going to take us? It's like, it's going to take us to the station. Yeah, you're having a freak out about that, but yeah. But we got back, and, you know, we got on the Eurostar, and you were very tired.
I feel like we got back into London about 11 or
midnight.
Yeah, it was quite
a day.
It was quite late. Again, I slept the entire way back to London, so again, I did not get to see the tunnel. Yeah, but it makes for a really long day, but it's definitely possible if you're interested in taking a day trip into Paris or from Paris into London. It's doable. You just kind of have to know ahead of time what you want to see so that you don't waste your time just kind of wandering around
and not knowing what to do or
where
to go.
Yeah. And again, if you go into Paris and you don't speak French, you probably want to have some sort of app or something.
Yeah, translation app or something, yeah.
Or if you're French and you go into England and you don't speak any English, but if that's the case, then I don't know how you're listening to this podcast.
Je suis désolé.
But yeah, so it's really fun to do that. It's great going around Europe because things like this are possible. You know, you can't take a day trip into another country in America unless you live along the Canadian or Mexican border.
Yeah. Give us feedback on Facebook or wherever you listen.
Yeah.
So
let us know if you've taken a day trip into another country when you've been in Europe and where you went and what you did. Because maybe we want to do that too.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk about Rome and Spain next time. So
sometime, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.